Okay, so welcome. Today is May 5th, 2019, and we're doing another shamanic demo. Today we have Zeth volunteering from New Zealand.
Hey.
And this is a great opportunity for me because Zeth is a graduate of our online program. So I have worked with Zeth extensively. So that always makes me feel good because I know you know what this is about, so there won't be any surprises.
Yeah, not for me anyway.
Yeah. So, and even though you are really familiar with the work, Zeth, I'm still gonna just state the contract so that everyone's clear. So
Absolutely.
The contract today, since this is going to be a public demo that that's going to be available, the recording to the public as well. If we come upon any material and you just feel like this is not appropriate to be speaking about in a public setting, we can either adjust where you're just working with the part and not giving us so much narration, or if it just feels like it's too much, we'll stop and then you and I will continue in private offline.
Yeah, cool. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm pretty sure I'll be good. If I do feel too uncomfortable, I'll let you know. But
okay,
yeah, I'm ready to show people what you do.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's start with the opening meditation. And again, just explaining a bit for the audience. This is really just about sinking into the physical body, turning our awareness out of the constant mental focus and shifting to awareness of the body, feeling into the body. So I'm going to do this along with Zeth. We're just going to be closing our eyes and really lengthening out the breath. So really long, slow inhales and exhales. Shifting awareness and attention to the physical body. And at this stage, we're just noticing what arises. It can be thoughts, feelings, sensations, memories, flashbacks, images. And it can also be something very mundane, like a part of you writing a grocery list for shopping later on today. So at this stage, we're going to go into silence for a couple of minutes so Zeth can really check in, and I'm going to be doing that as well. And then Zeth, I'll check in with you in about 2 minutes.
Cool.
Okay, Zeth, taking your time whenever you're ready, just let me know anything that you noticed during the meditation.
Yeah, I noticed there's two things. My chest is a little bit tight. My heart's not beating fast, but it's strong. I can feel it throbbing.
Okay.
And a twinge in the back of my right arm. Just a little muscle spasm every now and again.
Okay. Okay, good. Anything else?
Yeah, a bunch of visuals of, I don't know, memories.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
A little bit shivery, a little bit nervous.
Okay, excellent. Anything else?
Yeah, my face is starting to twitch.
Okay. Okay, we got plenty to work with here, so let's go ahead to the next step. And again, just explaining a bit for the audience. So at this point, I'm going to invite Zeth to invite in any beings from the other side of the veil that are both willing and able to support him in his healing process today. And as Zeth is doing that, I'll be inviting in my team of guides and assistants from these other realms. So Zeth, go ahead and do that and let me know when that's anchored in for you.
Okay, sweet. I'm good.
Okay. All right, great. So let's just check in with the physical manifestations just to see who's trying to communicate. So the first thing that you mentioned, you noticed in the meditation was that a sort of tightness in your chest. You said the heartbeat, it wasn't that it was fast, but it was just beating strong. So let's kind of investigate who's the part that's showing up as a tightness in your chest and like a noticeably strong heartbeat.
It comes with a few people.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's not the first time I've seen them.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just shivering now, and not thinking of much else.
Okay. Okay. So let's ask the question, well, it sounds like parts that are showing up this way. What are they concerned about in this moment, or what are they afraid might happen if we proceed with this session?
The shivering part is just a bit concerned that I may be misunderstood and possibly ridiculed for expressing myself.
Okay. Yeah. And for this part, has this happened before? Has this part seen this happen?
Yep.
Yeah. And are you clear about either the first time or one of the best examples when this happened?
I'm just thinking it kind of feels like it's on a daily basis that this happens.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Okay. So it's almost like you can't even remember the first time because it's just been happening forever for this part.
Pretty much. I think one of the biggest, times, or the first time, we've touched on that before. So I've healed that specific part, that big part. But
I remember,
there's something still sticking with me there.
Okay, so let's find out. So whatever happened in the prior session when we worked on this, maybe there's a new part or, something else that part still needs to work through. So just let him know that he's welcome here. And would it be helpful just to sort of pause and just kind of check in and see if he's comfortable with the setting? Can he notice that this is a setting where the only people who are going to be watching this are people who are interested in self-leadership? And
no, that was sweet. Yeah, you saying that is, you saying that is very comforting.
Yeah.
Instantly, yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So let him know it's kind of, this realm, it kind of ends up being self-regulating, because people who aren't ready for this, they're not going to watch,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So just let him know it's kind of pre-screened, the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Cool. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So does he feel okay continuing, or do we need to go? Does he want to, go deeper into this thing that he's still carrying?
Yep.
Yeah. So how's he feeling?
Just overwhelmed with love. Just overwhelmed with love.
And does he experience being misunderstood or ridiculed for expressing that? Yeah. Yep. That's got to be pretty awful, because that's really discordant with, just wanting to express love. You don't really expect to be hit in the face.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, but it also sounds like he doesn't really want to stop.
Nah, he's a man on a mission.
Yeah. Yeah. So when people misunderstand him and he feels ridiculed, how does that make him feel?
Lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, lonely.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And confused, self-doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I'm delivering this great message. Why isn't it being received in the way it's intended, right?
Yeah, hard out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so let him know that makes sense, that it could be lonely and just really painful, isolating. It makes sense. So would he like some help with this today?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
We're in.
Okay. So can we go ahead and take the next step, Zeth? Would he be willing to just sit by your side while we call in the higher self?
Yep.
Okay, he's ready. Okay, so just invite him to sit next to you. We're not abandoning him. We're going to be right with him.
Yep.
And although I know you know how to do this very well, we'll formally go through the meditation to ground in the higher self. So, yeah. So again, we're going to connect to that slow breathing. And always just like to remind people at this stage that, grounding in the higher self is a totally organic process because this is who we already are. It's not something outside of us or separate from us. It's actually never disconnected. Sometimes our awareness gets distracted, but we always are, at our core, the higher self. So as we inhale, let's just ground in that compassion and clarity, which is qualities and vibrations of the higher self. Pulling it in with confidence, knowing that our bodies are designed to soak up this resonance. Our body loves it when the higher self grounds in. We don't have to be special, unique, or even worthy in any kind of particular way. The higher self is just there regardless. And as we exhale, we can share that compassion and clarity with the whole world around us. Plenty of it to go around. On the next inhale, let's ground in confidence and courage. That might be good for this part as well. The perspective of the higher self is outside of space-time, outside of a linear view of time progression, outside of the limits of the physical confines of the body and this material realm. So from the perspective of the higher self, it's quite easy to be courageous and confident because you realize you're connected to all that is, and all is self. Everyone is just our reflection as we are theirs. So for the higher self, this confidence and courage, it's very natural and organic. It's not showy. It's not trying to prove anything. It's very grounded and centered. So as we exhale, we can share that confidence and courage with the whole world around us. So I'll start sending some across the Pacific and you can send some from the other direction. We'll meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then let's breathe in on the next round, creativity and connection. So again, from the perspective of higher self, connected to all that is, it's so easy to access creativity, infinite levels of creativity. And let's also pull in that vibration of curiosity, which opens up the creativity even further. When we drop agendas, when we're just open and curious in the moment, suddenly solutions appear. Things that seem so complicated become quite simple. Again, this is just the natural state of being for the higher self. So as we exhale, we can release creativity, connection, and curiosity into the world around us. So just continue to take a few breaths there, just letting your whole body resonate with the compassion that the higher self brings. And when you feel that it's really anchored in, let me know and we can proceed.
I feel like I was right with you. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Ready to go. Yeah.
Beautiful. So again, just for clarity for the audience, at this stage, Zeth is now like deeply connected in with the higher self. So I'm going to guide him to go as his higher self to this part that's holding the concern about being misunderstood and ridiculed. So remember, of course, Zeth, as you go to this part, you're being the higher self, which means you cannot see the higher self. So if you start to see other parts appear, other characters, just let me know. But for the moment, as the higher self, just gently move towards this part who's feeling misunderstood and has experienced being ridiculed for expressing himself. and see if he'll allow for some physical contact. And again, remembering we never want to be working with coercion. So if the part doesn't welcome it, we don't want to force it. So go ahead and try that and just let me know how he responds.
Just wants to be left alone.
Okay.
He just wants to be left alone.
Okay. So ask him, would it be okay for you to just stay in the room with him and just sit there next to him? Would that be okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as close as he'll allow you to sit, just sitting next to him, maybe by his side, which is less confrontational. And I want you to just continue this excellent job you're doing of just breathing in the compassion, the calm, confident clarity, and the curiosity of the higher self. We don't need to use any words. Just allow him to experience being washed over with that compassion.
He's looking at me funny now, and he's like asking, sort of without saying anything. He's asking like, "You? Do you know? Do you get it?"
Yeah, well, let's even just hand that question back to him. Let's ask him, does he feel like you really get it? And if not, would he be willing to help you understand what it feels like and what it's like for him?
Yeah, he doesn't think I fully get it.
Okay. So let him know that we really want to understand his experience. And so whatever he needs to express or show you, or maybe particular memories that he wants to remind you of, or just things he needs to physically or emotionally release so that you really can get it.
Yeah, this fella's got a lot of love,
Yeah.
and it's too much to hold. It's not made for one man. It's made for the whole world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of energy to have. Yeah.
He knows I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Yeah, he knows I know.
So since he knows that you know, and you guys are clear, and probably sounds like some very specific instances that were really, more intense, let him know that it really makes sense that he's feeling this way, because as he said, he's holding this love that's so big, but what do you do when it's not always received well? It's like this catch-22. He can't hold it in, but then when he expresses it, the outcome sometimes is not feeling good. Or it sounds like for him, for his perspective, it's like never feeling good. It's happening on a daily basis. That's really heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
real heavy. Yep.
Yeah. 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 So, and it sounds like this has been going on for a very long time. So it's heavy, it's lonely, and probably exhausting, and just
Yeah,
disappointing, you know?
yeah.
Yeah. And does this part have an age that you can tell? Are you aware of his age?
Right, it looks about 7, 8, 9.
Oh, so
That
he's
sort of age.
young. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this has been happening a couple decades. It's a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's been subtly coming back for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, yeah, go ahead.
the whole thing, just the whole
Mhm.
thing.
Mhm. So, would he be open to getting some help today in transmuting this? And, we can work on it as much as he needs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So, first, let's just express severe or extreme appreciation and gratitude for this severe burden he's been carrying. And let's really recognize him, because it sounds like even though it's been hard, he hasn't stopped loving.
never,
Yes. So let's
never.
recognize the courage and the strength
Can't.
that he has. Yeah. 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 So what would it be like for this young man if he could continue to courageously express this really like divine love? This is, like he said, this is a huge love. What would it be like if he could express it, and no matter how people responded, it would be okay? What would it be like if no matter how people responded, it wouldn't bother him at all? What would that feel like?
Amazing.
Yeah.
It would feel amazing.
Well, let this part know that I have complete confidence that he has the strength to step into that, if he is ready to do that transition today.
Yep.
Okay. So ask him, would he like to do another alchemy ceremony, choosing either one of the elements or multiple elements to release this, just the disappointment, the loneliness, just the frustration and anger and sadness and anything that he's holding around these experiences of just not being received well. Would he like to release those alchemically?
Yeah. Yep.
And what element does he prefer, or elements?
Water.
Okay. Okay, so at this point,
Fire.
okay, great. So just for the audience, at this point, I always trust that the part knows what elements he or she needs. So at this point, Zeth, higher self, his job is to just hold the space and be witness. So Zeth, go ahead and invite him to show you. I don't know if he wants to start with water and then fire, or how he wants to do it, or simultaneous, but just let him show you his ceremony. And we're just holding space. Literally, we have his back, literally holding a bubble of space around him. And then if it's possible and you're comfortable, let us know what's happening. And if it's too much, just let us know when he's complete.
Says the water's running down my face. And for some reason I've got one of those, a stack of those hell banknotes, you know, the ones that we burnt.
I don't know what that is.
What are they called? I think you do. I got one of these sitting out.
Yeah. The job paper, yeah. Ancestor.
Fire, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's holding that?
Huh?
He's holding that, you said?
He is now. I pulled them out on the table because I've got all my best crystals and everything all out. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. Yeah. Does he want to burn one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can do that. Whatever he wants to do, let him know we're more than happy to support him. So if you need to take some time to get a safe vessel or a lighter, we got plenty of time.
Not have a lighter.
Okay.
Got this one here. There's two there.
Okay.
I've got a friend here holding space for me if you want to, because there was a lighter there for you.
Great.
They're just ready to burn it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, whenever he's ready.
It's a picture of I can see a picture of a dragon on this end.
Yes. Beautiful.
Cool. Pile of ash in my hand now. I think I should just go outside, throw it outside.
Yeah, if that's what he wants, whatever he wants, let him know we're happy to support it.
Yeah, I'll just nip outside and throw this out in the sea.
Yeah.
There's the sea's right there. So.
Oh, beautiful. Give it to the sea fairies. Come on.
Cool, that's it.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's just take a second, now that you're seated again, just connecting with his energy. And let's just check in. How's he doing?
He's quite happy, more than happy, that it was recognised and cooperated with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
it was okay for me to do that weird thing.
Yeah, and would it be helpful for him to hear that not only was it okay, but it's really quite a pleasure for all of us to witness this.
Yeah, that's cool.
So he might have felt like he was asking for a favor, being accepted and received in what he needed to do, but he also was doing us a favor, allowing us to be part of his ritual.
That's just so humbling to him. Like that makes a lifetime of not being able to love people like he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just that if someone's getting something out of it, then it's worth it.
The wind is just totally like kicked up as he was talking. It's like flying through. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so beautiful. So let's just keep a slow pace and just make sure Let's check if he feels complete, or is there anything else that would be helpful for him to heal this burden?
He thinks that I feel capable of doing it myself now.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's just check, because again, so for the audience sake, I like to always be careful that I'm not assuming I know anything about what the, part feels or thinks or wants. So I'm pretty confident in the answer, but let's just formally ask, does this part feel confident that he can connect to the higher self anytime he needs to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also being asked to let him know, I believe he knows already, but the ancestors are with him every time he delivers these messages of love, and that he stands in this courageous love. They're so proud of him. And that's real. They see you.
Wouldn't be able to do it without them. Without
Yes.
you, without everyone.
Yes. You know that saying, I am because we are.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so it sounds like, the new place he'd be going to is being a confident messenger. Is there anything else he wants to show you about what he'd like to experience now differently? I mean, I can feel his transition into that courageous confidence. Is there anything else he'd like to do or experience or receive, or anything he needs from you?
I think I just need to say that whether all people feel the same as me or whether they don't, I truly love everyone and everything. With everything I am. That's it'd be really nice if everyone knew that. How much of a deep love I have for anyone. Bad people, I love them. Bad people that have done really bad things to other bad people that I love. I love them. It's the most powerful energy in the universe. It's only the only energy that can turn an enemy into a friend.
Yes. Yes. Zeth, could I say something to this part that may be helpful?
Yeah.
It seemed like he's already pretty much crossed a big threshold, but I want to share this with him because it was helpful when I learned this. So I was working with a little girl. I used to work as a tutor, and she wasn't actually my student, but she was bullying one of my students. And, I was just really watching her behavior, and she, the girl was just like always looking for someone to mess with. So when I was doing the IFS training, which for the audience, that's internal family systems, is this system that I'm using to work with Zeth. What I really learned about, I had an opportunity to play her. So I actually was her, and another friend of mine played a therapist trying to speak to her. So I basically took on her energy. And what I learned was that the kinder the therapist was, the more patient the therapist was, the more loving the therapist was, the more afraid I became as this girl in her energy.
Yeah.
because she was in a situation, and it so happened that I spoke to people at the school, so I learned that like her mom is very aggressive. Her mother would literally come to the school and get in physical fights with other parents. The girl is coming from a home where it is not safe to express love. So here we are being all well-meaning, and for some people it's very frightening because it's unfamiliar. So I don't know if that's helpful to this part of you, so he can understand that it doesn't even mean he's doing anything wrong.
Yeah, I know it scares people. It's really good to know that someone else knows that too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So he can just know that. All right, well, that's good. Okay, well, let's just take a pause to, again, just acknowledge him and what beautiful work he did today and has been doing always. And I just personally want to thank him for showing up today and just being so real. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We're humble. We're humble.
Yeah.
Thankful, free session. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work, team. Good work. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I really appreciate you, Michelle, and what you do. You're definitely good at your job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And well, we appreciate you. It was so cool to have you in the school, and it's just been a real pleasure to know you. And I think the irony is the whole reason that we're talking right now is because of a GTA game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we actually connected, because my partner came on with playing GTA. Yeah. That's how we met the New Zealand crew. So yeah. So I just really appreciate you, and I just want to thank you and all your parts for showing up to do this today, and for being willing to do this, because it gives so many other people strength and clarity to see this, just because a lot of people just don't know that this kind of work is available. If you haven't been exposed to it, you just don't know that it's there. So I really appreciate you being willing to stand up today and do this. So thank you.
Yeah, you stand up. Yeah, that's my pleasure, and I really appreciate it because you stand up like every day. You guys have lived a life of really putting in work.
Yeah. Hey, same team.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
All right, mate. Well, that was beautiful. So yes, just a short message to the audience. Our school, which I mentioned earlier, that Zeth graduated from the very first semester we ever did, we're starting another semester in June 2019. So if you're interested, contact us at activationcoaching@gmail.com. You can find out more on our website, www.activationcoaching.com. And that's it for today. Zeth, it's so great working with you. Thank you again.
Oh, the feeling's mutual.
Yeah.
The feeling is mutual. Yep.
And please give love and blessings to everyone down in your end of the world. I got cousins in New Zealand. So one day we're going to get down there and see you guys.
Yeah, we're waiting for it. Yeah. He has to give us notice though, so I can tidy the house.
Okay. Yeah. All right, mate. Take care.
Sweet.
Thank you so much. Have a beautiful evening or day, morning.
Yeah, got a day ahead. Right. Love you, everyone. Love you.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.